Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Good evening and welcome to the Toon review on this Sunday evening. We'll just get right on the screen there. There we go. Great weekend. Absolutely great weekend had by all. Not so much a great result against Liverpool, but you know what? We know how far we've come. We know how far we've got to go. And we also had, Danielle was there and myself at the ladies' game today, and we're going to start off with the ladies because I think they deserve to have the start of the show dedicated to them because 22,134 people turned up today at St James's Park for a ladies' game, which is in the fourth tier of the women's game, is absolutely incredible. The atmosphere, Danielle, was incredible. You know, we got to the ground and, yourself and your partner Lee were there and I brought little Ben with us. And, the buzz around the stadium, of course, Michael turned up as well, Michael Marsden. So we all sat together. But we got into the ground early and pretty pleased we did.
Yeah. If we'd left it any longer, we would have been in the massive queue that was sneaking all around St James's Park to get in. It really felt like a normal kind of match day in Newcastle City Centre. It was absolutely heaving. Just a fan for me. What a pivotal day for the city, for the football club, for everybody associated with Newcastle United, because that attendance and the atmosphere was absolutely incredible.
It was brilliant, and I don't think the girl. What happened was that they came out for warm-ups. And, the Leazes End was basically empty and some of the Gallagher was still empty. But the East Stand was full. I don't think Newcastle had anticipated that many people being there today. I think they'd anticipated around about 10,000 maybe turn up. However, the girls went in after the warm-up and all of a sudden it was announced that the kickoff had been delayed 15 minutes due to crowd congestion to get in. And then they had to open the top tier of the Gallagher, that filled up, and then they opened the Leazes End, and that filled up. So when the girls came out to start the match, 3/4 of the football ground were full compared to one stand when they disappeared from the some of the Gallagher, of course, but it was incredible. And you could see on the faces when they came out, they were just in awe. They just looked around and thought, wow, and boy, did they put on a display. And I have to say, credit to Becky Langley as well, because you know what it is? They've got one hell of a little team there. And that's the first ladies' game I've been to. And I have to say, some of the football they played was absolutely brilliant. Some of the dribbling skills, the passing, the left winger, I keep forgetting her name. I hate that, but she was outstanding.
Was it maybe?
I think maybe, but the two centre backs were just incredible.
Everything.
Little, I think it was Barker up front. Was it Barker? Was it Barker?
Katie Barker.
Katie Barker, absolutely brilliant. But all of them, I mean, and the goals were obviously there was 2 penalties, but brilliant. And credit to Anik Town as well.
Should have been a third.
Should have been a third, yeah. But the penalty wasn't given. But credit to Anik Town as well, because they turned up. They're bottom of the league, and it was a tough game for them. But what an experience for them and their families as well to play at a ground like that in front of 22,000 fans. It is just exceptional. And Alex, this goes on to say what a fantastic club we have, and the owners have really installed themselves within the Newcastle United group now, wanting to promote everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, they could see the potential in the city. The fans and just that it is a sleeping giant. I mean, if Gabby Agbonlahor wants a funny joke, we've got more of the women's match than Brentford get for their Premier League men's team. So,
I mean, that was taken from the Leazes end. I mean, just look, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's absolutely bonkers considering the tier. Even though there's been an effort to promote women's football in recent years, it's still on its way. It's still in its infancy for being where it should and could be. But to fill 3 stands of a national stadium, in theory, this is used for international games at St James's Park and rugby matches. Yep. It is a top tier stadium.
Absolutely.
So to fill 3 stands and have 22,000 people is insane, and it's nice to see the transparency from the owners. Murdad tweeting about it as well. It's just incredible. It's incredible. Can't wait to see them in the top division soon.
I like this at the end. Obviously, we'd left the stadium by then, but Amanda came down onto the pitch with the girls, and just look at the way she's laughing and smiling with the girls. Just she wants to be so much part of their rebuild, part of the girls coming into the Newcastle United umbrella, Billy, and it's great to see something like that, isn't it?
It's unique, I think. The chairman or whatever you want to call it, one of the owners of the club, being that hands-on within a role, especially with the women's team. I guess being a woman helped that, but we've kind of been behind the times for such a long time with what we had with the previous regime. These lot coming in now have just threatened the club and brought us into the 21st century, really. It's phenomenal to see. And obviously the girls thrived on big attendance. And long may it continue with that kind of attendance because, obviously, they're going to do us proud at some stage, aren't they?
Without a doubt. I mean, they could have froze. They could have froze under the, but they started the game and the passing and I was amazed, actually, at how good it was to watch. And then, of course, this had to happen. And just the same as the men get in. I love that photo. I just love it. Of course, Amanda right there at the front, and it just felt like when I saw that photo, I thought, wow, this is now one big family at Newcastle United. It is tremendous to see. There was one lass who got badly injured at the end with her knee, but she still managed to hobble round. Behind everybody else. Yeah, with an ice pack on her knee. It was a nasty injury. And I hope she's okay. But, the confidence that'll give the girls going forward, just absolutely unbelievable because they'll want to stay at Newcastle now because Amanda, I mean, there's some good players in that team who can, I'm sure, play at a higher level. But if Amanda wants this team to become a Super League team, then, she can quite easily convince these girls to stay and say what an absolute opportunity they are going to have to play in front of decent crowds because they could do something similar to what Man City do. They could play, the big games at St James's, and if they do build a new training ground with like Man City have, they've got that little where the ladies play for them just off the Etihad, something like that, and it's just going to be incredible. We'll look at some of the comments that have come in. Lewis's great win and attendance for the ladies today. Steph says, I was there. It was a great turnout for the ladies. It was great. Chipper says, we're confused with ASM's performance yesterday. He put crosses in, yet we had no striker, and when we play with one, he doesn't. Is this showing he doesn't trust Wood, or who is he playing up front? We'll come to that. Ronald's here. Gladys says, great result for the women's team today. Then disaster. Everton beat Chelsea. Yes, indeed. We'll talk about that, of course. Up the A1, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the Toon Review family, my friend. Listen, Billy, I believe you want to say something on this, what happened yesterday.
Absolutely. Put some full screen, Paul, so they can get the full effect. And then,
yeah, okay, mate. No
if you could.
There you go.
Well, yesterday, obviously, we were due to start at 12 o'clock, and when I checked my usual source, it was down. It's never been down in the 2 months or a month I've had it, and I purchased it off Barry, who I used to obviously co-host with on through Black and White Eyes, and unfortunately, the emotions got the better of me, and I falsely accused him of bringing the source down to benefit him. When I found out after the game that the whole system had gone down, I was mortified. I shouldn't have said it. I should never have said that. I should maybe, and this is why I'm kind of saying this now. So Barry, my heartfelt apologies to you. I'm sorry for the distress I've caused you with erroneous comments and false comments. And hopefully this can be the end of it now and we can move on. But as I say, I falsely accused you of doing something you didn't do, and I really am apologetic about it. Really, I'm sorry. And in the future, that will never happen again. So I'm sorry, Barry.
Well said, mate. And listen, it was under stressful period. It was a stressful time. The show was due to start, etc., etc., and it was very, very difficult. Stress was on everybody, and it's very understandable. So, you know what, Billy? Brilliant of you to say it, mate. And you did brilliantly yesterday. I want to say that publicly as well. What a job you did. Having to, deal with that for your first time live on the channel, and being without a stream, etc. And a big thanks to Alex and Ryan as well, who helped out, and Danielle, Susan behind the scenes as well. It was a difficult time, but listen, everybody understood, everybody got through it, and like I say, from the channel's point of view, I apologize to Barry as well. Let's just move on. Barry is doing his own thing on his channel. We'll continue to do ours. But let the crap stop, basically. The crap stops now. He's doing his thing. We're doing ours. Every other channel is doing theirs as well. Let's just stop putting people down. Stop messing around, playing games, and just let's all do our own thing. That's the best way to be. Everyone's a grown adult. Enough is enough. And it stops
well said.
now. So let's just move on. So thank you, Billy, and again, massively proud of you for yesterday, mate. I really am proud of you.
But on the same subject, I want to thank everyone that was watching as well. That gave me
definitely
support. I've had dozens of messages on Facebook, Twitter. You're all great people. Love you all, and thanks to Alex and Ryan for getting me out of the SH1T because they did pop up.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I say, people have been messaging me as well saying, "Oh, I don't know who to watch." Watch everybody. I'm not here to put anybody down and say, "Oh, don't watch him, don't watch this." People like watching Barry's channel, like watching the Toon review as well. Watch them both. Barry does his thing, we do ours. Let's just leave it at that. People will just enjoy each other's shows, and that's how it should be. So, end of story. So, Billy, that was really heartfelt, mate, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
and I'm proud of you for handling it. And thank you to everybody that helped out yesterday. Thanks for the viewers that stuck by us. We have better to come. But like I say, Barry, apologies from the channel as well. Let's just all move on, do our own thing, and make the best content that we possibly can. Because at the end of the day, that is what it's all about. And that's what we will continue to be doing from all sides. So best of luck to all the other channels. There is no wars here. There is nothing going on. Let's just enjoy each other's channels and move on. So let's move on with the comments. Neil says he's singing about all me lasses. Cesre's in the house. Well, Cesre, nice of you to join us, mate. The show's live now. You'll know what I mean by that. Evening, Paul, Alex, Danielle, and Billy. Wouldn't say the game yesterday was a classic, but I think if we'd had a bit more of a cutting edge up front, we could have got some. I agree with that. Are you there still, Alex? Oh, he's there.
I'm here, yep.
Just your camera disappeared for a second there, mate. Didn't know where you went.
Yeah, on a new camera. Sorting out.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Well, I had it the other night. It's just
you did. Yeah, but you look like Casper. You've got your light.
I do. I'm still a bit white. I'm not quite this milky in person, guys.
Milky. Now there is a sin. V, good evening. Evening all. What a turnout yesterday. What a turnout today, sorry. It was great to see my first ladies match, and it won't be the last. It certainly won't be the last. I'll be going to either V or Danielle. I think Danielle was loving it. But the highlight of the afternoon, Danielle, for you may as well say it now. What was the highlight for you?
What do you
Come
mean?
on. Come on.
What?
Who was walking around the pitch?
Maggie's back.
Yes, Maggie the Magpie was back today.
And she's got false eyelashes.
She has.
She's like the real deal.
She looked incredible. And it looks like she's been in the washing machine because she was spanking clean as well. It was incredible. Good evening, Charles. Jim's in the house. Gary's in the house. Matty says, good evening, Toon Review team. I hope you're all very well. I am proud of the team. 1-0 loss to maybe the best team in the world is nothing to be ashamed of. Dupes had a great game. Indeed, he did. Goatfather's in the house. Michael Robson's in the house. The Den of... What does that say, Alex?
Elucidation.
I love how you didn't ask me.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason. Great to see all the support for the ladies today, and all things considered, a good result yesterday for the lads. Matty says maybe if we had something up front, we could have got a point, but they don't have 31 clean sheets for no reason.
Exactly.
Yeah. Caitlin and Nick, hey, Paul and the gang and everyone in the chat. Matty says, think the ladies' team was only 8,000 people off of Everton's attendance today. Yeah, they beat quite a few. I think they beat Watford's attendance yesterday. Am I right in saying that?
I think so, yes.
That is staggering. I mean, that is absolutely staggering. I still can't get over that. Just bizarre. Mrs. Toon Review is in the house.
Susan?
Goatfather says, great job, Billy, considering the technical difficulties. Yeah, he was fantastic yesterday. Even the team are proud of the team yesterday, although it did highlight the importance of getting 2 quality strikers, at least in the summer, which I think we will be going for. Darren, good evening. I would also just like to give a little bit of a big shout out to 2 little women I met today. Tilly and Emily were there with the parents. They watch the channel all the time. Got the photo taken with me and Danielle. Absolutely lovely little kids. So good evening, Tilly and Emily, and hope you're enjoying the show tonight, as your parents will be. It was lovely to meet you all.
It was
this afternoon. So many people come up and said hello today. It was absolutely fantastic.
It was lovely.
But that's the kind of people that we expect to see now. Just lovely, big part of the Toon Review family. Tom says, evening everyone, what a great afternoon today. Big win for the women's team and a huge attendance, thoroughly enjoyable. Do you think they send messages, Alex, to say that, it's not just the men's team that will be rising like a phoenix, if you like, in the rebuild? It puts out a big statement to how much these fans want to see the women's team do well as well.
Indeed. Well, the owners knew it, didn't they? I mean, Rafa knew this when he was still here. Just the word potential and the sleeping giant was thrown around everywhere in regards to the youth academy, the facilities, the men's team, and the women's team. Just all of it, because of the passion of the city and the history. It's all the tools were there. We had everything. Everything's been sat here for quite a long time. And other clubs got snapped up for whatever reason when certain people were in for a club. Ashley wasn't ready to sell, and when he was, it just didn't work out timing wise. But this has been coming for a long time. And City have done a similar thing, but capitalize on everything, build the brand.
Indeed.
Football, women are a huge part in football in the future. Like it's more than 50% of the British population. Like we need to. I mean, equality is equality. We need to push. Absolutely. I mean, fair enough. Like, you've got to be the right standard. Fair enough. But we need to try and promote this, because there's got to be more in grassroots football. There's got to be more out there.
There is some very, very good women players. There really is, and some of them play for Newcastle United, and guarantee they were incredible. Absolutely marvellous. Ian says, evening all. Is the contrast up, Paul, or have you forgot the fact of 50 again? Can I just state for the record, I am quite dark-skinned, right? I do not have skin like Alex, who beams like a sunshine, right, when he's in light. Danielle, you saw me today. I'm naturally dark-skinned. It's not like I am not... I don't know where that comes from, but it's just a fact of nature. And if the sun shines on me for 10 minutes, I bronze. I cannot help it. I am dark-skinned. So that is just part of my genes down the line somewhere, wherever it comes from. Chippers, thank you for your £10 super chat, mate. Really kind. Thought Miggy and Almiron played well yesterday. Yeah, they both both had a decent game, I thought. Shippers, you're a dickhead. Right. Les says, evening from the land of Moo. What did we think of ASM's performance? Alex. Never mind.
It's okay. I mean, we'll open the first door straight away. We'll rip the plaster off. Mixed performance. He did things well. He did things poorly. He ran into traffic a few times on the left wing, which we don't like. Hands on his head too often in the first half. Things we don't want to see. On the flip side, 4 out of 4 dribbles, passed twice to Miggy, who was offside, played in Chris Wood once, who couldn't time his run. Maxi had to delay the ball. Chris Wood couldn't stay onside to save his life. And again, it's a prime example of what I've been saying in recent months of if other people could finish their dinner, Maxi would look better. And that's not in his control. All he can do is play the balls. If people can't do anything with them, that's not he can't control that. That's not in his control. So I thought he was, in the context of the game, I thought he was all right. He moved centrally, he moved left, he tried different things.
Not from where I was sitting.
Yeah, so he had one offside. I mean, to put it bluntly, we had one cross in the entire match from anybody in a black and white shirt, and that singular cross was from Maxi. So before people mention crosses, let's just count the fact that nobody else crossed the ball either. But yeah, it wasn't the greatest performance from him. But again, it was against one of the best teams on the planet, and I feel like none of the front three were any good, bar Joe Linton. So he was the only one who could hold his head up high out of any attackers on the pitch, in my opinion.
Yeah. Alex, I don't know whether you know this person. Maybe you could be the Eddie to my how. Loved meeting up for dinner with you earlier.
What, in Poland?
Well, I had my dinner right here at the desk I'm currently sitting at about half an hour ago. So
that is a strange message. Unless they have a little voodoo doll of Alex, that is weird. Julie will be disappearing soon because it is Sunday evening. Of course, she goes quizzing.
Good luck,
best of luck,
Jules.
Seems to be very close to winning every single week, or if not winning. Rashid says, is there a way to watch the highlights at least somewhere here from India? We can't even cheer for the lasses. I couldn't find the link. No, there was nothing. I thought it might have been on the club website, but unfortunately not. I don't think it was anyway, but time will tell.
I don't think so.
Candice says, I was there. It was very entertaining. Big up to the ladies. Mark and Danny, hi all. Hope you're well. I have to say, brilliant watching Alex and Ryan supporting Billy yesterday. Toon Review family for life. How are the lads? Thank you very much. Stew Boys in the house. Oh, Stew Fly Boy. Sorry, I don't want to get my words wrong again. My God. Ooh.
No, best not.
The flack I've taken. My God. Cesare says, kick ass Jules. If not for you, then for us, because we have to deal with your. Oh, dear me.
Oh, that's a brave comment, Cesare.
Yeah. It's a good job he's in South Africa. Wow. Tom says the football was class. Once you start watching, you're watching a game of football. You don't think about the gender. The post-match winning glow is the same as it is normally. Yeah, it was. It really did feel like that. Darren says, hi, also proud to be a Geordie. Over 22k at a 4th-tier women's game. Wow. Arsenal women had 2k in their Super League, more than Watford versus Burnley in the Premier League, and only 8k shy of the unwashed. Wow. Yes. Just crazy as well. Andy says, so many Toon YouTube channels reporting as well, and everyone appearing on other channels. Adam interviewed all of you. He did, and he interviewed Darth Vader.
Now, his father.
Yeah, people that were watching that, people who haven't seen Adam's interview yet will, when you do, watch Adam's video of the vlog today, because it is brilliant. And there's a lot of, he interviews a few fans and things like that, and including myself. And at the end of the game, well, before the game as well, but mainly afterwards, he interviewed Darth Vader. Now, Darth Vader was at the game. I didn't see Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, or any of the others. He did say that the stormtroopers may have invaded the pitch at one stage, but he stopped them from doing that. But he had the most posh accent I've ever heard, even posher than Alex.
Yeah.
And that is saying something. And when we heard him talking, it was like, well, Adam, I was loving the game today, and I have to say it was rather stupendous. I never knew that Darth Vader had an accent like this in my life, but it sounded like he was related to the Queen, and he could have had tea with the Queen this afternoon, but he didn't. He was interviewed by Adam Pearson. I've never heard a voice like it. But it was great seeing so many crazy people there. And now I'm not saying Darth Vader's crazy, but maybe he has to be to wear Darth Vader outfit at St. James's Park.
He had the Newcastle United version, though.
He did. It was the black and white one. Yes, it was. Adrian Jackson, thank you for your £15 super chat, my friend. Very, very kind. Absolutely loved today's game. Shame I missed bumping into you, mate. Again, first ladies match, but definitely not my last. I think that's the main thing that's coming from this today, Billy, is the fact that, a lot of people have said that it isn't their last game. And they will go back and watch the ladies, whether that be at St James's or, up near the, I forget where they play.
Is it Whitley Park?
I think it might be. But anyway, they'll go and watch them because they were really pleased with the footballing show.
Absolutely, it was a massive pressure on them to kind of put a kind of show on that's going to make people want to go back and see them. But they did that. They did that in spades, and just going by the result and how you kind of all waxing lyrically about them. Yeah, the people will be impressed, entertained, and they want more of it. And for £3 a go, who can argue with that? No one can they?
Exactly. Julie saying there, if you want to see Paul shouting at Darth Vader, I did. When he was interviewing Darth Vader, I may have shouted over a few times to Adam that shouting things like "I am your father" and various things, which seems to come across very loudly on Adam's. Considering he was filming on a bloody iPhone, it still caught my voice beaming across towards the strawberry. Very, very loud. And I have to say, I do apologise, Adam, but it was funny.
It was funny.
Because Adam couldn't keep a straight face while he was trying to interview Darth Vader with me, bellow, and "I am your father" at him every 5 seconds. But it was brilliant. Tom says how inspiring it must be for girls there today. They can dream of playing for Newcastle United at St James's Park. Can we swap Katie for Wood? Hey, I'll tell you something. She moves. The runs that she made today, superb. Dribbling skills, brilliant. And to be honest, at the minute, I'd rather have her there than Chris Wood, undoubtedly, because, Danielle, Chris Wood yesterday, when he came on as substitute, did absolute naff all again, and he's just not good enough. And, people could come at me and argue with me about that, but I'm sticking by my guns with that. He is not good enough.
No, I didn't even jump for a header. What's that about? Like, what are you doing? That's your job? Like, that is your actual job? I'm sick of the whole thing. I'm sick of the Chris Wood thing. I'm sick of the ASM thing. I would want the season finished now and we'll move on and see what happens in the summer. I'm sick of having the same arguments every week about the same players. Like, Chris Wood's not good enough, and ASM, I just think he needs better players around him. I think he needs better standard of players around him.
Do you think it's the players around him?
Yeah, I do.
Interesting. Right. Billy, what was your take on ASM? For me, in that ground yesterday, and I just go by off, the reaction of the crowd around me, the guys that sit around me, very, very frustrated with him again. Maybe people can say better players, but, so many times again, he had the opportunity to lay the ball back to Matty Target, and he doesn't. He takes on another 2 players and loses the ball.
I thought at times, actually, he was our biggest threat, to be honest. I thought at times they were scared of him, Liverpool. But I imagine once we saw the team sheet come out of Liverpool and saw no Trent there and saw Gomez playing like we might have thought we were going to get some results out of it. But Gomez came in and it was seamless. Like Trent was playing. So he had it hard.
After 25-ish minutes, Gomez really settled in, didn't he?
Oh, he was awesome. I thought he was the best player in the park, I'll be honest with you. And I also thought at times ASM, it is frustrating. It's going to frustrate you. He's a maverick type player. But at certain times, he kind of put Wood through, like Alex mentioned earlier. Wood was standing around waiting for something that was never going to come unless he ran for it. We know he can't run.
No,
he just can't run. If you see Chris Wood try and run, he is not a runner. He can't run. It's as simple as that.
He didn't even get it in the net anyway when he got on the end of it, did he? So
he was given offside, but that would have been interesting had it been sent to VAR. But it was a terrible finish.
It was very off on TV when you watched
it. Was he?
Very off.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen it. Further off than Miggy's.
Oh yeah, well that was Gomez. He was nearly on. Gomez nearly played him on. This was I just mentioned to Billy about the 25 minutes. Gomez in the first half an hour forgot he had to do an offside trap as a right back.
Yeah, but Miggy's goal.
Miggy just doesn't look at the line when he bends and runs.
He did it numerous times yesterday. He was offside, and the goal, he was about 5 yards off.
There were times yesterday that the assistant referees are supposed to not put the flags up if it's borderline. He had his hand up every single time, even when it was borderline.
Yeah, he was.
Listen, we'll come to the referee and the decisions a little bit later because some of them were very bizarre, to say the least. Jeff says, did you see the under-18s lost 13-0 to Man City? Yet we'll move on from that very, very quickly. That's where we will hopefully be in a few years. Steve says, respect, Billy. Indeed. Hang on, what was that from Julie? Paul just remembered we got a taxi the other night, and I shit you not, it was £6.10. Well,
yeah. Lee went out with his uncle and bought 2 cans of pop and 2 sandwiches, and it was £6.10.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch the Toon review and you want to fill your trolleys full in various supermarkets across the nation, you apparently will get to the till, and it will be £6.10 for anything you buy. It's remarkable, isn't it?
Remarkable.
Really? Yeah.
If you get a bill come to £6.10, just tweet it to the Toon review to Paul, and he can see it.
Ken says this was exactly Sir John Hall's vision, which was to have everything under the Newcastle United banner, wanted rugby, etc. Also, which is why he wanted to build the new super stadium on the town moor. Yes, he took the ice hockey team out of Durham as well, which resulted in Durham's rink closing down. So I've got a bit of a thing with John Hall for that, but never mind. I'm fuming. This was announced late, and I'm out of beer, and the shop shut. Well, it's not announced late, Neil, because we did say on various shows last week that it would be 8 o'clock tonight. I just didn't put it into the system until I got back from the ladies' game, but we did state many times that it would be 8 o'clock tonight. Andy says, we love you, Billy. Respect, says Basil Brush. Not easy streaming. Good evening, Lee. He's obviously watching Danielle, is he?
I don't know. I can't comment.
Oh, of course not. Len says, Billy, we felt for you. I watch it back. You've done well, Billy. Team Billy is always great professional. Ryan's in the house. Ryan, thank you to you as well for yesterday. Billy got us through the game. Cheers, bud. Big up, Billy. Well done, mate. Respect your buddy for owning up. Yeah, indeed. Toon review crew doesn't get better. Thanks, V. Chris Murray says, good evening all from, I don't know where that is, Chris. You keep putting that name in, man. Virginia. I like Virginia's easy to say. You know how I struggle. 1-0 defeat against one of the top teams in the Premiership, indeed. Jamie says, well done, Billy. We've all put our foot in our mouths. Glad to hear it was misunderstanding. Billy was tremendous yesterday. No arguments. He handled the hard situation so well. Mrs. Toon Review sends Billy a big heart. Kenneth says, there will be some first division sides jealous of that crowd. I don't know what Man City ladies get crowd-wise, but this will show again what Newcastle is all about.
It's anything like what Man City normally, the men's team get, it won't be very much, will it? Like, well, you know, the plastic fans.
The empty head. Welcome, everybody. Julie says, well said, Paul. Thank you. Well said, guys. Much respect. Billy, you've done a class job. Jim says, Billy, I was trying to watch him work, but time wasting customers ruined it for me. Cracking job, though, mate. Love the green screen nudes on the beach. Sorry?
Wrong stream.
Jim, I don't know what you've been watching, but stop trying to drop Billy in it, because I'm sure he didn't have naked ladies behind him.
No,
this is not John Sinclair TV. Dave Elliott says, massive congratulations to the lasses and to the owners and the greatest fans on earth. It isn't surprising they came in their hordes. The club is back and the dark days of Ashley are gone.
I know, I cried again, you know, when they played Local Hero when they came out.
Yes, you
that
did.
Was me gone.
You do tend to cry.
Get emotional.
Yeah,
because
indeed.
Do you know what it is? It's an emotional moment. This is something that we never thought we'd see. And for me, as a woman as well, I think how kind of overwhelmed must those girls be, those ladies be, to think that all of these people have turned out just to see them. Like, that is just...
Well, yeah. You saw the faces
pinnacle.
when they came out. You saw the faces when they
That was it. As soon as I looked at one of their faces, that was it. I was gone.
Yeah. The lap at the end, they were just absolutely just thanking all the fans.
But then I cry anyway for anything, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
It's has merit.
Mainly when you open the cupboard and you see that there's no alcohol in there, Danielle. But anyway, we shall move on. No offense, Billy, but it takes a big man to admit they're wrong and apologize. Well said. Well said, Paul, says Cesare. Don't worry, I'll delete my own comment. Well, thank you. You're such a wonderful, wonderful man, you shark wrestling mofo. Indeed. Steve puts a thumbs up. I don't just watch Toon Review. I like a lot of others. Exactly. Of course. Everybody watches lots of others. We are lucky to have a fair few good NUFC channels. Loaded, Gallagher Shots, The True Faith, and this one, of course, are my personal faves. Put out excellent content. Thanks to you all. Cheers, Michael. Thanks, one tip, though, Billy, when stressed, turn your mic off. Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex. Do you know what it is though? That was superb because I watched that last night with Susan, and I have to say I was in stitches, absolutely
Or
stitches.
me trying to
because-
smooth it over.
Yeah, but Alex's tone of voice, as you could hear Billy in the background, Alex's tone of voice was going up and up and up.
I watched it as well, yeah.
Trying to blank out the noise in the background. It was so funny. If you don't laugh at things like that, then what's the point? You know what I mean? It was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But Billy, I have to say, if Jason does not give you the Sinclair Award for that,
I don't know. There's some stiff competition this week,
No,
isn't
I
there?
think you're getting the Sinclair Award.
Yeah, I
you
think
Just
so.
admit
Hey,
it.
whoa! I don't qualify for Sinclair
No, it
Awards.
was
Yes,
for
you do.
Bruno not starting, not
I know,
Mitrovic.
yeah, exactly. And Bruno not starting, and Miguel
I'm playing
and
Willock in midfield and on
Almiron
the right wing at the same
at the
time.
same in the same
Oh,
game.
look at them. Look how quick they're jumping on. You know, they can't wait to jump on that horse and punish me. Jesus Christ. It's fine for Billy to scream at people in the background and Alex to sort of try and up the volume of his own voice. But no, Paul says the wrong team once in 2 years and he gets blasted. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Stiff gate, this is glaringly obvious after yesterday where we need to strengthen. Yes. I mean, Alex, I said in the immediate reaction video I did that yesterday seemed to me to show how far we come as a team, but we all still know that we have, a long way still to go, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are being a bit unfair. It wasn't anything wrong with some of the lads' performances. I mean, I mentioned this. I can't remember if I mentioned this on camera with Billy or off camera. I can't remember. But we were asking certain players there, such as Kraft, Shelvey, Willock, to play to a Champions League winning level standard for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's ridiculous. And Kraft did fairly well considering. Shelvey did okay. He didn't do amazingly well, but he tried to shield his line where possible. We kept it to 1-0. They are playing against the best players in the world. I mean, they had to bring on Fabinho, Thiago, and Salah to try and finish it off because they couldn't get it finished. So credit where credit's due. Willock had a really, really poor one. Again, no aerial duels, no tackles, just nothing at all from 62 minutes. But it's one of those games where we'll just move on. It's not fair to judge him on that because he's not going to be playing against Liverpool every week. He's going to be playing against, the other 17 teams we've got to play against that aren't Man City and Liverpool. Willock can probably do fine against, and he needs to grow and learn. So I think there's context.
No, I thought though, Alex, in a way, and Billy, I don't know whether you agree with this, Danielle, that I just thought we paid them a little bit too much respect at times, that we stood off them a little bit more than we maybe should have.
Well, that's reflected in possession.
Yeah, but I think that's what
Eddie
Howe
was 28%, second half was 41%, so we'd addressed it slightly.
Because I think that's what Eddie Howe meant in his... Sorry, go on, Billy.
I think we played 10 yards too deep all over the pitch, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Especially from free kicks and stuff like that. Liverpool's their high line. We should have been further up the pitch. Let's push them back, not let them dictate where the game's being played. I think you're right. I think we did play them too much respect, even though the system we played shouldn't have really.
Yeah, it shouldn't. But I think that's what Eddie Howe was alluding to and saying we weren't quite at it today because I think he was expecting a bit more bite in the tackle. But it is what it is, Alex, like you say. So
I mean, there were some players. Bruno with 12 ground duels. Target made 6 tackles. Target's up for it. Target looks like he can go another level.
Yeah, but can I be a bit controversial here?
Oh God.
Go on, try me.
I don't think Bruno was quite at it yesterday. I just thought he was, and listen, he was still very
I'm not
good.
On Twitter anymore after that.
No,
comment.
listen. Before you rant at me, right? I just don't think he had an influence on the midfield as well as he wanted to yesterday. Not that he had a bad game. I just think that he just couldn't influence as much as he wanted. Now, whether that was because, maybe, having, Willock there who wasn't on his game yesterday, just knocked that a little bit.
I mean, Willock made 7 passes.
Yeah, I just don't think Bruno was as influential as he can be, but that may be because of the players around him. I'm not saying it was Bruno's fault, but to me, he couldn't quite influence the game as he wanted to. He was getting, he wasn't getting much support. And that's what I mean. But I'm not saying Bruno had a bad game. I'm saying that he wasn't as influential as normal, but that could be because of the players around him yesterday. And like Alex mentioned, Willock wasn't at the races yesterday at all.
Yeah. If Shelby's going to sit, then Willock needed to, Bruno needed something to play off. ASM was
which I think Joe Linton does very, very well.
Yeah,
and I think that's the difference. I think people fail to see that sometimes, the influence Joe Linton has in the middle of the park. And I think Bruno prefers him there. I really do. And I think
both won 12 duels together. Both Brazilians got 12 each. So they were both up for it.
I would have liked to have seen yesterday Joe Linton back in midfield, Willock in the false 9, and Maxi on the left.
I thought Joe was going back into midfield. I honestly thought that was going to happen. But
I tell you what, I love Joe Linton's aggression, Billy.
Oh yeah.
He gets stuck in, he starts throwing players around. He just takes no crap from them, does he?
No, he's fully committed to the cause, and he's come on in leaps and bounds, hasn't he? Wherever he plays on the pitch, you get 150% out of him every week. He'll die for the club. That's how he plays it. There's nothing that he wouldn't do in that shirt to benefit our club, and it's fantastic having him. And we really needed 2 of them yesterday. We needed one in the front line and one in the midfield also. That's a testament to him.
Definitely. Michael says, Billy, you were great yesterday. I've seen that one, sorry. Top man, Billy, onwards and upwards. Well said, Billy and Paul. Up the A1 says, evening Toon review. Good to have met you, and thanks for the pick opportunity with you guys. Danielle said she remembered to shout out the girls. We found the subscribe button. Well, I've done it. I have said hello to the girls, and I'm sure you heard that because I said it after 8:16. I know I did.
Hello, Tilly and Emily, anyway, just in case you missed it.
Hello, Tilly and Emily. Everybody waves to Tilly and Emily.
Hello, Tilly and Emily.
There you go. You've had
a great day today.
You've had a shout out from the 4 of us, so there you go. YT, I thought Bruno had a quiet game. I thank you. Someone else sensible in the house.
The thing is, he sets such a high level of bar. Anything below that, you can notice it.
That's what I'm trying to get at. He does. He sets a high level, and he's done nothing but set that level. But maybe this is a case of the players around him weren't at the races, and that's why Bruno didn't have an influence, because the movement in the team, I think is something that dramatically needs to improve next season. Dramatically, because even for throw-ins, nobody bloody moves. They stand there, and it takes like 5 minutes to take a throw-in. And you think,
I think Willock's a midfielder. Every game I see Willock, I'm less convinced he's a midfielder. Obviously, he was tried in midfield at the start, and it didn't work as a left central midfielder. And now he's been moved sort of further and further up as a box-to-box, and people are now talking about false 9s. He got the lovely assist on the left wing with Bruno's last-minute header.
Yeah,
I think his place might be even further up, somewhere in sort of floaty attacker, winger. He just doesn't. When he's up against the standard we need, we need him to be doing more. He 0 out of 0 aerial duels yesterday. He didn't even attempt an aerial duel. He didn't try to win a header. Not that he didn't win one. He didn't even try and win one. Not even a single. He played 62 minutes. How do you not try and jump for a ball once in 62 minutes? I don't understand.
Chris Wood's the same, Alex. I don't get why they don't jump. Chris Wood should be towering above some of these centre backs.
And Chris Wood won 1 out of what was it? 1 out of 5 aerial duels. 1 out of 5.
Well done.
I just, and Abs is saying in the comments that she's sick of the abuse that Wood and ASM get. It's not abuse. It's
an opinion.
It's an opinion and constructive criticism to say, Willock wasn't at the races. ASM wasn't yesterday. And for me, but that's my opinion. Billy thinks he was our biggest threat. That's Billy's opinion. It's all about opinions. And, let's just respect each other's. Trull says, what's your thoughts on the club offering a 4-year deal for Longstaff?
Homegrown.
Don't have an opinion.
Trust the manager.
Indeed. There you go. We move on. Apparently, we've given a contract offer to Dybala for around 250 grand a week. Take that with a huge pinch of salt, by the way. I'm not so sure about that.
We'll wait and see.
Up the A1 says, cheers, guys, for that shout out. Good to have met Adam also. Stanley says, well done, the lasses today. Really love the show as normal. Watching the GOAT, that is Ronnie O'Sullivan. Keep up the great work, lads and lasses. Somebody mentioned snooker. Guy says, no, number one reason the team is on a run is the fans. The 12th player makes a difference. Positivity, new owners and manager. Yano says, watch the Arsenal game today and we should definitely throw our hat in the ring to get Eddie Nketiah, who is available on a free. He's just what we need. Billy, you're a big advocate for him coming, aren't you?
Oh, I watched him today. You know, his movement he's got everything. He's really an unpolished diamond that's going to be a star. And if we can get him in the summer, I'll be ecstatic. Far rather have a proven Premier League player in Nketiah. He's not proven, but he knows the league than someone like Ekiteke, who's same level in France. I've got to be honest with you.
I mean, if somebody said, for me, Nketiah or Ekiteke, I'd take Nketiah, me. I really would.
Which is a massive turnaround from the summer. Because if you remember, when we were talking about Nketiah, everyone was like, oh, no, don't touch him. He hasn't got enough experience. Why isn't he getting in the first team? We've got to think about that. What a turnaround in the summer. I'm a fan of it. Bring him in.
Definitely. What the hell?
Susan,
let's go back to the point.
Bloody Nora. I mean, for those that don't know, people used to take the mickey out of us for being King of Morocco. I've got no idea why. Apparently, I look like him. Susan, that's a low blow.
I love it, though. That's what I'm here for.
I may actually cry. Mohammed's in the house with his update. 30-night Ramadan fasting tomorrow on Monday. Well done, matey. Keep going.
Mohammed.
I've had another text message from Susan, which I will read shortly, but that's about...
Brace yourself.
No, it's not. It's merch. But Susan, I will be speaking to you after the show. Bloody Morocco. Jesus Christ. Dan says, amazing result for the lasses. Grew up with one of them, and she was always nuts for NUFC, and I know how much that would have meant to her. As for the men, just need to get someone who can shoot, and we'd be grand.
Amen.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Currently watching live French League, and Bruno's best mate, Lucas Paqueta, playing. Not a bad player. Stiff Gator says, next season, the standards are going to have to be higher. Can't do anything with fancy dribbles. Wingers are judged on goals and assists, and he is succeeding at neither. Obviously talking about ESM.
I'm putting a hat on.
Oh, yeah, Alex. He's been on the beef again.
It's just the assists comment. Like, I agree about the dribbling. I agree with every criticism. But when he plays people through and they do nothing with it, that's not his fault. It's just not his fault. Bruno played Miggy through against Crystal Palace, and he did something we've never seen him do. He beat off a fullback and whipped it in the top corner.
Go on, Alex. Keep going.
He doesn't do that. When Maxi puts him through, he's either offside or he does nothing with it. Honestly, Maxi should be on a lot more assists-wise. Fair enough with his goals. He's got to do that himself.
I mean, people were questioning yesterday when was ASM's last assist. I had to point out it was last Saturday against Norwich.
I don't think that actually went down.
It was. Well, does that count as an assist?
Yeah,
I don't think it went down because it got a touch on it.
We counted.
Did it?
Yeah, fair enough. Suave, who has been out apparently for a meal with Alex tonight, says, Billy, you've did a great job yesterday, and you've been an amazing addition to the team. Be proud of yourself, lad.
Well said.
Thank you, Suave.
100%.
Yeah, it did go down as an assist, and his expected assist is 5, so she should be on more. But that is because people can't finish their dinner.
Yeah. Gary says, I thought Paul was trying a new filter on his camera with a slight tint.
No,
Andy says, you look a bit like Stavros to me, Paul. Hello, everybody.
Stavros?
Hello, everybody, peeps.
Paul is using the Essex filter tonight. Listen, I find all these comments highly, highly, highly
irritating.
Yes, because I am not pure white. I am dark-skinned. How many times do I have to tell people I have dark skin? Danielle, people that have met me will know. Yeah. I am not Casper the Ghost. I am naturally dark-skinned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you and Ben could have been Stavros Flatley outside the St. James's, especially when he was pumped full of E numbers.
Yeah, well, that was Lee's fault, wasn't it, really? For feeding a whole packet of bloody midget gems. Sorry, mini gems. I'm not allowed to say that anymore. Steve says, this is the realization of a sleeping giant waking up. Michael says, oh, God, Alex, ASM was dreadful. The fact of the matter is, if we don't want to move if we want to move forward as a football club, we can't rely on this version of ASM. He simply is not pulling his weight at the moment. Yano says Maxi was awful. End of. Majestic, good evening. Billy seen a ghost? No, that is just Billy's getting a new camera shortly. In fact, he'll be getting it next week. So I'm sending him my old one, so he'll look like the model professional. When I find out what other wires he needs. Paul looks like a mochaccino colored Greek god. Cesare? Interesting.
Oh, God.
Wagner says, Maxi missed what I think would eventually be our best created chance on a great pass from Bruno. There was only one man between him and the keeper, and he blew it.
Chris Wood blows it every single week. So, just saying.
It's 13 comments for Maxi and none for Miggy.
Are you actually writing that down?
I'm counting them. Miggy got 3 offsides, 0 shots. Miggy got 7 passes in 90 minutes of football. 90 minutes of football, he passed the ball 7 times. And he was coming deep to be involved in things. Like, I agree with everything said about Maxi, but you have to criticize everybody equally. Like, it's ridiculous. It's beyond a joke at this point. You have to evaluate every player. Yeah. Do you want to sell the whole squad because we lost to Liverpool? It makes no sense. We can't.
It's just a meltdown that happens every time we lose a game.
It does happen every time we lose a game, Danielle. You're right. And I have to agree. I don't think Miggy was at the races at all yesterday. He didn't do anything.
There's a reason why Maxi needed a War Flags banner, because people just won't get off his back. And how is he ever going to... If you want him to either get sold or improve, he's not going to improve if there's this much pressure on him from fans. Like, he's a 25-year-old man who's listening to his coaches. He's trying. He's not trying to play badly for you guys as fans. He is trying. He loves the club. You know, this is his passion. This is his lifelong dream to be a professional footballer.
Indeed.
He's not trying to let you guys down. And it's so much pressure on a young man. Like, he does deserve the criticism when he's not playing well, but spread it amongst the players, please. I just feel like it's over the top.
Alex, you're going to make us cry again.
I'm emotional.
I just feel sorry for Maxi because he just does so much for the club, and he's on 9 goal contributions this season. He doesn't deserve the abuse. He deserves constructive criticism, not hate. It's just too much.
There you go, peeps. The man has said it. Anyway, Andy says Alex's dinner partner certainly wasn't Mr. Matthews. Who is this Mr. Matthews? Have I missed something here?
Let's move on. I think it's best that we move on from that.
Have I missed something?
I'll explain later, but let's move on.
All righty.
It wasn't beautiful anyway. Alex controlled it very well.
Well, I thought he would. I mean, not many people get around Alex. Toons says, why have people got to defend Maxi when he is awful? Where did the 4 dribbles go? Nowhere. He dribbled to himself. Again, this is all about opinion, but after Alex's heartfelt play there, yes, I can understand it.
Bruno got 5 successful dribbles. Where did Bruno's 5 dribbles go? They also didn't go anywhere. So
that is very true. And I have said that about Bruno already on this show tonight, and I expect the daggers in my back.
Look, can I just say something, right?
Yes,
we played one of the teams, one of the two that are likely to win the league this year. Like, come on, man!
Yeah, we did really well.
It's a bloody meltdown. Like it was yesterday as well. You know what? I think we didn't win, but we played well. I think we played all right.
Right.
Yeah, I think their goal was fortunate, to be fair.
Let's concentrate on the positives.
Exactly. And I said that in my reaction video yesterday. I thought my reaction video was very positive yesterday in the car.
It was.
I listen, but listen. Nigel says so much hate on Twitter for SM yesterday and today. What's wrong? Right.
Because Twitter's a cesspit.
It is an absolute cesspit. We know that. However, right. Let's do a positive thing on this Sunday evening, right?
Ooh.
Let us be the channel that now supports Maxi, right? Let us be the voice of Maxi on the Toon Review and support him. And if any other channels or anybody else wants to hammer him, let them do what they do. But let's offer support for Maxi. And Alex, I'm sure he'll agree with that. We shall now be a Maxi positive, okay? Because I think we should back players like that. I really do.
Everybody does deserve criticism and fair assessments. But yeah, when it goes further than that, it is too much.
There, the voice of reason Alex has spoken. Mr. Stato himself. And he is now president of this channel, of the We Shall Be the Positive Maxi channel. There you go, right? So let's just do that. Let's positive frame of mind. Graham says the only fault with Adam's video was he never interviewed any women. Well, he did, because he interviewed a couple of families, didn't he? So, so I think that does get an inclusion. I think he did really well with his videos today. And quite, I'll be doing the same. Sorry?
I haven't seen it yet, but I'll watch it later.
I'll be doing the same next season. I have availability now for microphones and a camera to do the vlogging with. So I'm going to be doing lots of interviews and build up the matches next season, which I will really love doing, as Billy will host the watch-alongs for the home games in spectacular fashion, it has to be said. We are all proud of War Billy, and we will continue to be. Up the A1, thank you for your £10 super chat, guys. Spot on, guys. Our girls were inspired today at St. James's Park. What a crowd, indeed. He doesn't say if he was inspired by the football or meeting us, Danielle. I think it was the latter, I have to say.
Most people are.
Indeed. What the hell has just come into my inbox? Oh, my God. What is that?
The burger van was inspired by you today. I tell you, your bench.
Hey!
Hot dogs away, can't he?
Hey, he had 2 hot dogs. The
I know.
lad was hungry. He had one before the match and one
God,
after.
What an effort. I'm not trolling him. Like, that's an effort. That's from a little lad.
He didn't like the bread afterwards, like.
No, I know.
He was still offering people bread until he chucked it in the bin. Bless him. But, that's just...
Good effort, Ben. Well done, son.
Indeed, indeed. I've just had something sent to me and I can't find it. Where's that gone? It must be in my recent.
Is it my checkbook?
No.
Oh.
I'll find it in a second. Alex, is there... I mean, look, these pictures here. This is Chris Wood's opportunity, right? He just didn't finish with any aplomb. I mean, I know the offside flag went up and things like that, but wow. And this guy, Jota, I mean, there's so many pictures of him and videos diving yesterday. Was ridiculous. And can I mention as well, I don't know whether you've picked it up, Alex, but the foul by Marnie on Dubravka was a red card.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it at the time and I wasn't sure. I wasn't exactly sure what the contact had been like. And then when you saw the replay, obviously VAR didn't go and sort it. Yeah, so Marnie should have been sent off. It doesn't mean we'd have won, but there was a host of problems with yesterday's game. I was just shocked to see, upon doing the research for tonight's show, that Milner hadn't been carded at all throughout that game. I could have sworn he'd had a yellow, but apparently he wasn't carded. He fouled about 7 times. He was awful. He was handbags. It was fouls. And yeah, obviously it wasn't a foul for the goal, but we were unfortunate. I mean, it was... The referee doesn't have to stop play. I feel like in certain games it would have been. It's just we just got unfortunate. And credit to the lads, we didn't actually concede a goal through any fault of any players, because ultimately they punished the hole that Shah left in defence because he was injured. That's not Shah's fault. It's not the rest of the team's fault. Their only goal came from just us being out of position because Shah was injured. So well done to all of the lads on the pitch for keeping them to a scrappy, lucky goal for the entire 90 minutes. So we did fine. We did very well.
I think Mike was doing Connect 4 instead of doing VR.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell was he doing?
A lot of people were screaming for a foul for the goal, of course, Billy, but it wasn't. We were going mental in the Leazes end, but then when people saw it at half time and realised,
was lucky to get a toe on it, and that exonerated him, unfortunately.
He was very fortunate. Still, he did go in with his studs up, so I mean, certain referees would have stopped the play for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly, if it had been the other end of the pitch, it might have been stopped, let's be honest.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, listen, if that Marnie incident, if that was Shelby on Allison, would that have been the same result? I'm very doubtful. I think that would have been a red card immediately.
I called it at the time. I called it at the time, and I said that's nasty. That's he's gone studs up. He's planted his studs on Duke's knee. It's a red card. Don't matter where on the pitch it is. It's a red card.
On the camera, it actually picked up Dubravka's scream on the TV
Yeah,
cameras.
it did.
But he's had previous
Yelp.
for this as well, though, hasn't he? He's had previous of going in late on keepers, and he's very, very clever at doing it.
Well, he's been slapping people recently, hasn't he? And that's not being picked up. That's all over Twitter with slapping people in the City game and slapping people in Champions Leagues. He's got hands all over players, and he's not getting punished for it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it just stinks to me. But this is what we have to put up with now. Crazy little things like that. It just, oof.
Jack was saying that they are well versed in the dark arts of football. All the great sides have had that kind of side to them, and Liverpool have got it as well. They've probably got it more than Man City, actually.
Indeed. Costas, I'm not even going to read your comment out because I think, quite frankly, you're a sexist pig.
No choice, I'm going to say.
He says, a bunch of liars. Women are the most boring footy players. Fill the stadium with a bunch of blind people and make them cheer.
Listen, sweetheart, come back to us with your real name and your profile picture, and we'll talk further, okay?
But given his name too, I'd like to see Chelsea take our lady instead, because I think we'd have beat them.
Yeah. Mr. Costas, you are a sexist pig, and people like you don't, quite frankly, deserve to be on the planet.
To get his IP and find out who he supports, and then ban him from his team's home matches.
Yeah.
Yes, Costas, we can find you, my friend. But you have your opinion and stick to it, mate. But the women put on a fantastic show today, and 22,000 people went to see them and applauded them, and they certainly weren't blind. We all could see the great football that they play and what a brilliant future these young lasses have. So well done to them. And people like you can frankly piss off. Renier says, you think that a posh accent? Wait till you hear my South African one. Listen, you and Cesare. Yeah. Ginger's in the house. All credit to Howe for the result yesterday, but I think Eddie has seen what kind of players he needs to compete in this league yesterday was standards, and we need to reach those heights.
I agree. I think it was a litmus test. I honestly do think that, it was a really good kind of match to gauge where everyone is. So I agree with Ginger. Good point, mate.
Well, that doesn't happen very often on this channel, but there you go. Neil says Darth Vader was the Green Cross Code man for those old enough to remember. He visited my school when I was about 6.
Oh, I never visited mine.
Yeah, but didn't he scare the living crap out of people to make sure they did the Green Cross Code?
Probably.
About 7. Yeah. David Prowse, I think his name was.
Yes. Or this lightsaber will go where places it's not supposed to. Green Cross Code, kids. Mikey says, Billy Motson, go on, son. Jack says, Arsenal, Newcastle, Penchester, and now Chelsea lost to Everton. It's a disgrace, and now Leeds are banging trouble. Toon says, don't hate Maxi, but he is the only player that has not improved. Every other player gets praise, but not Maxi. I wonder what. Well, he's getting it on this channel.
Doesn't.
Yeah. Cesare has replied to our mate Costa. With comments like that, you're not welcome here. Please take your nonsense elsewhere. In other words,
Cesare.
And indeed, Costas, I forgot to mention, please do take your sexist pig views and your miserable looking face for a shite. Yeah. Do it now. Evening, guys. Sorry I'm late to rewind to start. Also, Billy, cracking job yesterday, even with difficulties, was a great watch along. Premier Sport and KC again at Costas. You've opened a can of worms, Costas, but I'm gonna hammer you with every single one of them that comes in. Laughing my arse off. What a sad life you must lead, being a sexist and whatnot. Congrats to Billy yesterday. Did a great job. Should be proud of him, Paul. Yes, I spoke to Billy on the way to the car yesterday on the phone to congratulate him after going through what he did. And I've told him various times today how proud I am. I've said on this show that I'm proud as punch of him. To see a good friend like that struggling at the start, to maintain composure like that and get through the watch along with all the help he got as well. It made me so proud to be part of this channel. So proud to call Billy a friend. So proud that everybody stepped in to help him, and it was just magnificent. So yeah, I'm proud as punch of Billy, and he knows that. Neil Allen says James Earl Jones did the voice what he did. It definitely wasn't him today, though. I can guarantee you that. Jesus Christ. My mouse has died, but it's come back to life again. Wood just really isn't good enough, said Wagner. Tom says, obviously, they're not going to play at St. James's Park every game, but they often play at Druid Park near the airport, which is tiny and not convenient to get to. That would
That's
change.
an issue then, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed.
That needs to change.
I think that would be taken into account today, to be honest, after what we've seen. Evening, Team Toon. We can take a lot away from yesterday, onwards and upwards. Wood ain't any good. 11 games he's brought us nout. Well, saying nout is a bit harsh. He won the game against Wolves, scored against Southampton. Mikey, I mean, I don't know what you make of this, Alex. Mikey says ASM is another Zaha.
I mean, okay. Zaha's on like 10 goal contributions or 10 goals this season. Like, yeah, it happens. It seems these players seem to be very 50-50, very Marmite with people. And you know, this club's very famous for its tricky players and its flair. And I don't know, you got to pick a lane. You got to pick a lane. If you want somebody a bit more sort of straight shooting as a left winger, then you're not going to get bums off seats and exciting runs. It's not going to happen. It's just going to be quick passes, build up. I don't know. Do we want to sacrifice that? I mean, I don't mind if there's a bit of quality in there. I mean, Neville was speaking. Not Neville. Roy Keane was speaking about old Man United teams and about how they would let Cantona and people just go off and not be responsible in the press because they had good enough quality behind to cover positions, and they would produce so much going forward. You know, and Maxi's coming into his peak, and I just don't see the point. If we get an outrageous bid for him and they want to take it, fine, that's the owner's choice. But he's coming into his peak. Why don't we just let him try for the two or 3 years in his peak as that sort of dribbly boy, and we'll see what he can produce with more quality around him. And if he doesn't produce it, then he goes. But shouting at him every week ain't going to make him any better. I mean, everybody saw the interview he came out with after he got the war flags thing, the appreciation banner. It's obviously affected him, the negativity. So all of you who've put the comments in, whether you all know if you've done it yourself, you can, you know, you don't need me to tell you that. You know if you've gone too far or not, and it's affected a young lad who's trying his best. So he's not going to improve if you keep doing that to him.
Good point.
He needed an arm around him from war flags to actually hold his head up. So, you know, criticise him fairly.
Aditya says, Paul, I respect your opinion, but I think the ref gave Newcastle favours yesterday by goal kicks for clear-cut corners in both halves. I think the ref had a good game, to be honest. That Milner's decision was spot on. Milner's decision was spot on, Aditya, but apart from that, the referee was goddamn awful.
Yep.
He did miss a couple of corners, though. He's right what he says, but the Milner, it was the correct decision. It was the correct decision, but would he have given it the other end? He had Shalvey done it to Milner, for instance.
That's
interesting point, Billy.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point to make, you know, given what happened to us at Anfield.
Correct.
You know, it's happened at Anfield. We didn't get the decisions. It happens up here, and Liverpool get the decision. It's strange, but exactly. It makes you think. But listen, the referee for me was poor yesterday. I don't think Andre Mariner had a great game at all. I think some of the Liverpool free kicks he gave when there were clear dives, let's be honest here, they were falling to the floor. The slightest little contact, and I'm not saying contact by a push or a shove or anything like that. Contact as in, you know, going in for a tackle. They were flying to the floor. Milner, for example, the free kick, when he headed it away, he knew Newcastle wanted to take a quick free kick because we were slightly on top then, right? And he headed it away, and he looked up and seen that we were going to take a quick throw in, and then he put his head down and stayed down with an apparent head injury. And we knew it wasn't a head injury. There was nothing wrong with him.
Yeah,
that's the type of shite that needs cutting out. Sorry, Billy?
The ball hit him in the head. It wasn't even a hard shot. It was just
wasn't
a lob onto his head, and he went down as if he'd been hit by a medicine ball. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
Well, even the ex-Liverpool fullback commentary on a different channel said the same thing. An ex-Liverpool player also said it was ridiculous. So,
that crap has got to be cut out of it. Nathan says, am I the only one who thought Mane should have been sent off? No, mate, we've seen. No. Michael makes a good point here as well, guys. Dan Burn was offside way too many times from the long free kicks. Simple stuff they need to sort out. He was caught offside many times yesterday, Alex, from those free kicks.
Yeah, we had 9 offsides total as a team yesterday. It was not good
that.
enough. Considering they had a makeshift right back, we can't be getting caught 9 times in the offside trap. It's ridiculous. But again, Byrne is a £13 million centre back signing from Brighton. He's played very well against top teams. Let's be honest, we've lost 1-0 to Chelsea, narrow defeat that probably shouldn't have been, and a 1-0 defeat to Liverpool. I mean, apart from the Tottenham game, our defensive record is immaculate. So I'll take what we get from Byrne, to be honest. He was brilliant, and he has been brilliant. But yeah, these are little things that can be improved on the training pitch. These things don't bother me because they can be improved. Whereas Miggy being offside 2 or 3 times a game, every single game, is a problem, and it doesn't seem to be improving. Whereas the Byrne thing, has he done it much before? I can't remember.
No, I don't
you
think
guys
so.
remember him
I
doing
think they
that?
tried something different yesterday, didn't they? Because normally
Yeah.
free kicks like that, Danielle, the float to the back post, don't they? And Dan Byrne's normally there to head it back across.
Yeah, I think we knew that we would probably, well, now that we're technically, we're not mathematically safe, I don't know if we are, that we'd potentially start to see some different things happening in the team, and I think that's what he was trying yesterday.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it before with Dan Byrne, but yeah, I completely agree. It wasn't
I think
good
Wood
enough.
wasn't on the pitch, was he? So maybe they had to try something different.
A good
the early
point,
set pieces potentially.
And plus, how high up the pitch the Liverpool backline were defending? If they were just squeezing the game, it needed a different approach. Maybe just keep lobbing it to the back stick. Dan Byrne's getting the end of it wasn't the way to go. Maybe it's a short one.
Good point. Toon flags was amazing again, says Dan. Yeah, for the men and the women. Yeah, they left the flags in today, which was absolutely fantastic. Jim says we are all Toon fans. Billy handled it well. Grace under pressure. Lasses in the Super League in 5 years. In the Super League, hopefully in 5 years. A big up to Paul and Alex for the brilliant Henry Winter interview. Absolutely brilliant show. Thank you very much.
Outstanding.
If you haven't seen that is still obviously available on the channel. Go back and watch that. Henry's a great character, and even look at Alex's shirt. He dressed for the occasion.
I know, he looked well smart, Alex.
Yeah,
it was a phenomenal hour and 10 minutes of entertainment. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was very good.
Neil says 8 p.m. is 2 a.m. here, though. Yeah, I know it's through the night for you, Neil, and I really do appreciate it. Nick says I spent £3.90 in a shop today, and the woman behind the till gave me £6.10 change. Oh my God, weird! Isn't that strange that you give them the tenner and you get £6.10? It's as if the till told them to give you it. I mean, how amazing is that? It's £6.10 change, you funny. Anyway. Respect to you both, Billy and Paul. Pure class, both of you. Thank you very much, Ches.
Yes.
Paul, I used to work at Durham Ice Rink, legendary place. But it had big rats. There's been many times I actually slipped once and fell as I was, and the ice machine had just gone off, and I slid right out through the gate and under part of the stands, and I looked up to see these eyes looking at me. And of course, because the ice rink was right by the river, these were water rats, and these things were like dogs.
Oh, massive.
And I have never moved so quickly in my life because I genuinely thought it was going to eat me. Chris Wood makes Stefan Givash look world class. Ooh. Okay.
Well, Stefan Givash only played. I think he scored 1 goal, and that was against Liverpool.
It was
today.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, wow. Chipper says, Mrs. Toon review, sure Paul could get on Towie with that tan. It's not a tan, Chippers. It's my skin. And if you have a problem, I am going to hold you accountable, and I will get the Rozzers involved, because I'm feeling now that things are getting over the top, and I'm upset about it.
Is that you, Paul?
Who sent you that? Was that Susan?
No, it was Ches.
Did Susan send you that?
No, I think it was Ches. It's the King of Morocco.
Come on, folks. Paul's getting bound off with these comments.
Oh, Billy! Danielle's lost it again. She has. She's lost it. Whatever. I don't like anybody anymore. Steve says, Paul, just accept your award.
Mm-hmm.
No, is the answer to that. Right. Before we go into the Julie's put it, she's back. This is why I love our Toon Review family. We are only human. We make mistakes, but we listen, support, and love one another. Indeed. Couldn't have said it better myself. Billy, can you go off screen and replicate your rant in George's voice? No. Definitely not. I mean, he was getting all sorts of requests yesterday to bloody start commentating in George's voice. The man is a professional. Anyway, like I said, before we go into the player ratings, I'd just like to say that Susan has pinned a link in the Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, please go and join. Make sure you accept the rules, and one of myself or the other mods will accept you in. Let me just get the message. She's pinned a poll and pictures of merch at the top of the Facebook group to get an idea of the numbers of hoodies, zipped hoodies, white t-shirts, black t-shirts, which all go up to 5XL, and zipped hoodies up to 3XL at the moment. So it is pinned at the top of the Facebook page. So if you can, go to Facebook, and we just want to gauge how many people will be interested in the merch and what. Just give Susan an idea of what we possibly are looking at for orders. So things are really moving forward with that. And I'd just like to see if I can get this onto the screen. There is the Toon Review phone cases. This is obviously, what was the word I said, Danielle, earlier today? A prototype, yes. This is a prototype, but this is what it's probably going to look like. This is obviously for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. You can see the four of us there, all looking rather handsome. I mean, I like the way she dresses Billy and Alex in a suit and puts me in flaming. Although I wear shorts most of the time, I have to say, I can see why she's done that. But the other one involves Billy sitting on this big red Harley. And I have to say, Billy, you look quite cool on there. So it's all happening. It's all starting to move forward now. So if you'd like a phone case with the four of us on there, and obviously Dipsy the cat is on there as well, they are coming as well, which is absolutely superb. So Susan's done an absolutely magical job getting all this sorted out for me.
Well done, Susan.
Indeed.
Yeah,
She's designed a lot of it herself as well. Obviously the animated characters of us, she's designed all that herself. She has an amazing little film coming up. It's like the start of a movie when they introduce all the people on the channel. So that's the mods as well and things like that. It is going to be brilliant when she gets that done. So that's coming as well, which is a really good laugh for everybody. Right, we are now moving into the player ratings. And Alex, you are going to go first tonight with Mr. Dubravka.
Yeah, so I tweeted about him straight after the game. As my man of the match. I think Target was probably a close second. 9 saves, all 9 inside the box. Dealt with everything very well, considering the speed of their attacks and their little nippy wingers. Didn't get caught too often. Distribution, it more difficult for him.
I mean, he wasn't great, Alex, if I'm honest, from where I was sitting in the ground.
I mean, you've got to remember that the tactic changed slightly. There was no wood to aim for, and the people he was aiming for wouldn't bloody jump. So in Willock, and trying to ping it to Miggy and Maxi, like who's going to win the headers? Realistically, it's Joe Linton. I mean, he won. How many headers did Joe win? He won 7 headers, 7 out of 12. So I don't really blame him. You're playing a 4-3-3. Trying to go up against them, and he's got nobody to aim for. Yeah, I'm not going to blame his distribution on that specifically. Okay. There were other factors involved, but he did well. He was brave in coming for a ball and Mane should have been sent off for it. Yeah. He got a nice high take as well that's logged in his stats. He got the highest rating out of any of our players on all the stat websites. So I'm going to give him a 9. To be honest, I think he was unlucky. I think he was. No,
I think some of his saves were superb. He made some very big saves.
Brilliant, yeah. That header, that long header from Jota.
Yeah,
magical save. It was brilliant.
Vitas, what phones would the case for the cases? Is it just iPhone? No, we will do most phones. It's not just for iPhone. we will do most phones. So, I think what we're going to try and do is, when you place the order, say what phone you've got. We'll then go and order it. If we can't get it for that particular phone, then we just refund you and say, unfortunately, we can't get it for that phone. But most phones, the place we're probably going to get them from will cover all phones, basically, as many as possible. So that's what we're going to do with them, because the phones won't be coming from the same place. So it'll change. As Susan says there, not sure yet, V. Launching hoodies and T-shirts first. We'll find out, though, and let everyone know beforehand. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Right, Danielle, you will get Mr. Kraft.
Thought you had a good game. I'd give him an 8.
Right.
Thought you did really, really well. Really, again, still improving. Better again this week. I can't really say anything bad about Kraft. I think he really, really put in a shift yesterday. Loved it.
The only one thing that I saw from Kraft, which was a negative, was in the first half, he got sucked in when Liverpool broke. Mane was behind him, and he didn't realise Mane was there, and he got sucked across, which I've said many times is his one downfall that I can see, that he needs to cut out his game. Dan Burn and Cher were back, no problem at all. So there was no need for Kraft to come across. And he left Mane, and Mane fluffed up the shot. But having said that, there was other times in the game where Kraft cut right across the pitch to make vital interceptions. So he just needs to balance his game out in that way, realise what's behind him. And if there's nothing behind him, then yes, go there. But I'll agree with an 8. I get Matty Target, and I'm going to give Matty Target a 9. I thought he was outstanding again yesterday. This guy
sign him up in the summer. Yeah,
without a doubt. He just the game just goes by. You just feel confident with Matty Target. You don't feel nervous. You don't feel anything when players come against him. You just know he's going to be there. And that for a left back is just superb. So I'm going with a 9. James says, well done, Billy, for your efforts with Liverpool game. Everything went wrong, but you kept at it and you've done the best you could. Loads of respect, big man. Can't wait for your next one. Yeah, his next one will be the Arsenal game, of course. The final whole game of the season. Now, Billy, you get Dan Burn.
Yeah, I thought he was stretched at times against the quality of the forward line, but I thought he held up really well. Some crucial interceptions, long legs sticking out, blocks, things like that. I'll give him a 7, an 8 out of 10, actually. We had a good game.
Yeah, going for an 8. Just before we go to you, Alex, and Cher, this is a possible T-shirt as well.
I love it. Your mum will be getting one of them, Alex.
Now, obviously, the Toon Review logo will be put on somewhere on there, but we do want to try and
bottom left.
Yeah, we do want to try and get individual hosts T-shirts as well. So, Danielle, don't worry. Dipsy will be on yours, so you'll not be on your own.
Let's do one of Dipsy. That'd be all right.
Remember the animated versions. They're not your real you, which is why Alex has got his stats on and his That wasn't meant to sound how it did. You know what I mean? So yeah, the Matrix with obviously we have to wonder about copyright for putting Matrix in there, but we can change that up a little bit to Stato or something, and then obviously just all the figures and but I'm sure Susan will be working behind the scenes with that one.
Very
so yeah,
good.
that would be a good one as well. Billy sitting on his Harley. That's another one with all these tattoos down his arm. I don't know where the tattoos come from, mate, but you'll have to get yourself some. He's got the stars on his arms. Yeah, but nice one. Right, Fabian Cher. Alex.
That's a real tough one because he obviously didn't play the whole game. I'm trying to find my mouse. So he came off. I think he came off. He came off in the second half. 61 minutes. Lascelles came on for him. So he wasn't quite the same after that knock. We haven't discussed him tonight, but I hope he's not injured.
Yeah,
some people mentioned a metatarsal. I hope that's not what it is.
It looked really bad when he went off.
Played on with it though, didn't he?
He did. He played as long as he could, which
so
is just
did
like
Trippier in theory.
Yeah, it's typical Fabian Cher though. We expect that of him. He's just a warrior. But when he came off and he went to go down the tunnel, I have to say that did not look great.
Yeah, he's just signed his new contract as well. Bless him. So it's very sad for him. But in terms of his rating, I mean, Kraft got caught out a couple of times in the first half, and Cher had to keep covering. He got caught. His job typically is to come out and press and help the midfield a couple of times in a match, just to give an additional number. And that was when the whole Milner thing happened, and they scored from that. It was unlucky. It's not his fault. He went in for a 50-50. That's what we want to see from somebody in a black and white shirt. We want to see them going in and try and win the ball. He didn't do great. 1 out of 6 long balls. He was trying to find runners. Is that his fault? Possibly, possibly not. Shelby managed to 6, so 1 clearance. There's just nothing here stats-wise. He made 7 passes, played an hour, but was fairly solid. He didn't really do anything wrong. I'm not going to blame him for the goal. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Especially if he's actually injured from that challenge. It's not his fault. So I'll give him a 7 because I think it's harsh to give him anything less, even though he didn't contribute very much.
No problem. Mark Cooper says, yes, you could call Alex the Statinator instead of the Terminator, of course. Interesting. Right. Danielle, you get Mr. Shelby.
I don't think I'd give him a 7. I don't think he had a great game yesterday. I don't know with John Joe, because sometimes he has really, really great games, and you know, when he's wearing the armband and you see great developments in his captainship. I just didn't see yesterday anything that really stood out for me for Shelby, so I'll give him a 7.
Cool. I'll take Willock, and I'm giving Willock a 4. I thought he was pathetic yesterday.
A 4?
4. I didn't see anything in his game, Danielle. I really didn't. I didn't see.
Fair enough.
I just did not see it.
I mean, Paul's right. To back Paul up, 0 key passes, 0 crosses, 0 long balls, 0 shots, 0 aerial duels, 0 dribbles.
An absolute passenger yesterday.
There's nothing there. 0 tackles as well. He played an hour.
Hang on. Like, I obviously agree with all he is. That's fine. But how come ASM's been getting all the hate then if Willock had such a bad game yesterday?
Because I think ASM is just there. He's the standout one. He's a bit like John Joe was, last season or the season before when Newcastle don't play well. John Joe was the scapegoat, and I think that's happening to ASM at the minute. I've been guilty of it. I have to say it. I'll openly admit it.
I apologised and said I was wrong.
Things are going to change.
Willock did draw 3 fouls and made 7 passes.
Well, that's why he gets a 4.
Passes in 17. That's a pass every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh no. I can't even. I'm sorry, guys. A pass every 10 minutes in the Premier League, in midfield.
Exactly. Billy, you can have Bruno.
Obviously, he wasn't up to his usual standards. He'd been getting 10s galore the past few weeks, but I did feel he competed really well with the Liverpool midfield, the quality of their players, and at times outshone them at certain times of the game. I'm going to give Bruno a 7.
Okay. Alex, you get Mr. Miggy Almiron. And can I just point out that's not Miggy and Almiron, Miguel Almiron.
I'm going to give him a 5, and the only reason he gets more than Willock is because his pressing was very good in the first 20 minutes. He made them very nervous. They were a bit funny at the back just before it was 18 minutes. I think they scored, wasn't it, or whatever it was. The first 20 minutes, Miggy was really good in the press, but for the rest of the game, absolutely anonymous. 3 times offside. Again, completed 2 out of 2 dribbles, but as people have said, if they don't lead to anything, then what does that mean? 0 crosses. He didn't have any shots either. I mean, 8 passes again. 8 passes in 90 minutes. That's even worse than Willock's pass rate. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing, mate? What are you doing, Miggy? Come on, man. That's not good enough. I know we're playing the best team in the world, but you can hit more than 8 passes in a match. It's got to be more than that. Definitely an off day. He's done some cracking things recently, so we'll put it down to just a bad at the office.
Okay.
But a 5.
No worries. Steve says Willock was a magician. The whistle went and he disappeared. Willock has games when he's just not interested. Do you know what, though? I've heard from Arsenal fans that he does go through phases of where he has a run of games where he just isn't in the game, and then for another 6 or 7, he's back to form and he's in and out. A lot of Arsenal fans have said that to me. So
maybe he thinks that the goal's been achieved, and therefore that's it. Maybe
he seems pretty switched on in his interviews. I
think he just had a bad game. Simple as that. So, right. Danielle.
Yes.
ASM.
Cheers.
You're welcome.
I will give him. Either way, I'm going to get hate. So I'm going to give him. I want to give him 7.5, but I'm not allowed.
You aren't. It has to be.
I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah.
I'm not. No,
what?
I'm not. It's an argument in my head because do you know what? Like, I understand. He loses the ball a lot. So do many other players in our team sometimes. But I just think he's the only kind of player that we have that can just make. And I know he hasn't made a difference in a game for a long time, but I'm just not going to hate on him. I don't want to hate on him, so I'm going to give him an 8. I just don't want to. I've done it. It didn't end up well for me, as we all know.
Foxy says Miggy was our better forward player on the day. I think you've had a nightmare there,
No,
Foxy. I can't
that's
agree with
not
that.
correct.
Foxy, let me. I don't know if you're on Twitter, but I will literally send you Mickey's stats for that game, and you can just read all the zeros.
Not from the, I was in the ground yesterday, Foxy, and not where I was sitting. He the best forward player. Moving on to Joe Linton, I'm going to give Joe a 7. I think he battled really hard. I don't think it was his best game by a long way, but again, he was involved in the game. Sort of went out of the game at times, but then still put himself about, and certainly the Liverpool players knew they'd been up against him. So I'll go with a 7.
Paul, did you see Klopp mention Joe Linton in his post-match, who said they specifically set up to try and nullify what Joe Linton does so well? So credit where it's due. If Klopp is scared and having to nullify what he does, massive credit to Joe Linton.
Massive.
And he still won 12 duels on the day, so he was well up for it.
Well, in fact, we have Joe Linton in the chat, and he says he should be a 10, but obviously he will think that.
Fair enough.
Billy, moving on to the substitutes. Who came on first?
Lascelles, 61 minutes.
Yes, Lascelles came on for Cher. So Jamal Lascelles for you, Billy.
Yeah, no obvious Ricks. Seemed a seamless change. He didn't do anything wrong as far as I could see. 30 minutes on the pitch, I'll give him a 6.
Funny fact of the day, he passed the same amount as Miggy and he was only on for half an hour.
Yeah, but that could be because Liverpool were doing more of the attacking, to be fair. Foxy says ASM up front was a 3 out of 10. When he moved to the left, he was better. 3. Listen,
I don't want the hate, so I'm giving him an 8. That's that.
Do you know what disappointed with though? We didn't change around. We didn't like we did against Norwich. We didn't swap around and have ASM on the right and Mickey on the left.
It didn't happen, did it?
It wasn't fluid, was it? No, it wasn't.
No.
Something more to think about. We didn't do it.
Yeah. Alex, the next sub was
Mr. Wood.
No, Chris Wood, wasn't it? Sorry. So you get Chris Wood.
So he played 23 minutes. He won a singular duel out of 6 total. He didn't have a shot. He had 8 touches of the ball. He wasn't on very long, but
no.
He didn't offer much when he was on.
He didn't change the game, did he? As I suppose when managers put a striker on like that, they expect something different to happen.
I've got to be fair to him. He is trying to win headers against people like Van Dijk, to be fair, but you just need to be doing a bit more, man. It's not enough. It's not enough. I'm not saying you should have scored.
For Chris Wood. It really isn't happening.
Yeah, I'm not saying he should have scored in that game, but again, we just want to see him doing a bit more of his job, bringing some other people into play, winning some duels, being a bit more aggressive, maybe winning us some fouls as well, because he never wins. Wilson was very good at that. He was always good at people pushing into him and winning free kicks. Wood doesn't sort of alleviate any pressure for us. I'm going to give him a 4 as well. I think he was equally as poor as Willock statistically. I thought he offered nothing.
Interesting. And Danielle, Jacob Murphy. I mean, I don't think he was on for long, was he?
He came on at 85, so we had 10 minutes.
We'll just go straight down the line with a 6 for Jacob Murphy because he didn't have time to influence the game. Now, Eddie Howe for yesterday. I'm going to give Eddie I'm going with an 8. Now, I'm going with an 8 because I think he set up right, man. He set up right. I think he did okay. I think he was disappointed with the not closing down quickly enough. I think that's what he was referring to at the end of the game yesterday. But I thought he played the right team. I didn't have a problem with it. After the Norwich performance, he couldn't really change much. But obviously, Willock came in, did okay for like 1 minute of the game, and then fell away. But you know what? 8 for me. Billy?
I'll give him a 7. I thought the selection was bang on. I thought the way we set up was bang on, but I just thought we were a bit too predictable. And I don't think we changed things up as much as we did against Norwich. I thought we should have. Perhaps, maybe even give Gale a go. Give someone else different a go. Because the Chris Wood thing was never going to work. We all knew that the Liverpool centre-halves would have ate him up and swallowed him for lunch. I just think we needed something different. I don't think he was as inspiring yesterday, Eddie Howe, as he has been in the previous few weeks. So 7 for me.
The thing that got me was, there's a video come out of some of the Newcastle United players out last night, and Chris Wood's dancing. And he's got more movement in his dancing than he has on a football pitch, and that's saying something. Anyway, Alex, Eddie Howe.
I think an 8. I'd agree with yours. I think it was brave to continue an idea that he tried at Norwich and apply that to a Liverpool match, which was trying Joe, Maxi, and Miggy up front. Obviously, I think it was Murphy started, wasn't it, for Norwich? But he tried that sort of thing. He tried to. He said, right, we'll bench Wood. We'll try this. I like it. He mixed it up a little bit, and he was confident enough to try that. Considering we got beat 5-1 by Spurs, trying a 4-3-3 against the top team. He was brave. His halftime talks and tweaks obviously worked because we got like an extra 20% possession in the second half. So I think he did what he could. He influenced the game in ways he had control of, and the rest is up to the players to a point. So I think it was an 8. I think he did a good job.
Cool. Danielle?
8 for me. Yeah. Obviously it's a 10 because I love him, but it is an 8 for me.
Okay, fair enough. Now, of course, we have our special awards to give away as well. So, Danielle, who is your special award for this week?
Now, my special award isn't for the men's game or the ladies' game in particular.
Okay.
But I would like to give my special award to our little Ben today because I thought he was a little ray of sunshine all afternoon. Like, he's a chip off the old block.
He is. I have to say that. Yeah, he is.
He honestly, my Lee's not one for kids, but literally, they were like best pals all afternoon.
They were.
It was just such a pleasure to be around him. He's done a really good job there with Ben. So I want to give my special award to Ben for being such a superstar all afternoon.
Thank you. Oh, bless him. I'll show him this video. He'll be over the moon with that. Alex, your special award?
I was tempted to give it to Bruno, but I'm going to give it to Target. 6 tackles, 1 interception, 6 out of 8 ground duels. Luis Diaz had to switch sides. They had to freshen things up in the front 3 because Target was just immense. He was a brick wall. They could not get past that man. His heat map has him in central midfield as a left midfielder. He's a beast. I want him signed. I really like Matt Target. He was incredible. He definitely gets the stat award.
Yeah. Okay. Billy, who gets the Billy Tray? We're gonna have to do a sort of Harley motorcycle trophy for you. Who gets the Harley motorcycle for you this week?
Yeah, I can't narrow it down to one person. So my award this week goes to the whole of the Toon Review family for the support and love you've given me over the past 24 hours. It was a hard stream to do. Really was hard, but you've all supported me unbelievably. I'm really, really grateful for it. So you can have the award today. You've been fantastic, all of you, every single one of you.
Lovely, Billy. Lovely words. Thank you so much, buddy. We've always got you, my man. Always. And that will always continue. Mine, I'm going to give to Becky Langley, the Newcastle United ladies manager. I was very surprised in a way today because not just for how the actual team played, because the football they played was outstanding. Some of the one-touch football, some of the little 1-2s, the turns, the wing play. The tactics were brilliant today. Were absolutely brilliant. And I got a real shock at how good the football match was and how much I enjoyed that. I must be honest. I have to say that I didn't know what I was expecting because I hadn't seen the ladies play before. But those lasses out there today give it their all, and they responded to the big crowd when they could have got nervous and folded. They didn't. They thrived on it, and that's credit to Becky Langley as well, because she will have spoken to them about this occasion well before now, and spoke to them on the day, after the warm up and things like that. But she was always on the touchline today, with our number 2, who is a man, which I thought it combined brilliantly, and it was excellent to see. But the whole ladies team really should get the award. But the way they played, I have to give it to Becky Langley, and also big shout out to Amanda as well for getting this sorted today, because that was incredible. Thoroughly enjoyed it today. A lot of people there for the first time. They'd never been to St James's Park before, but got the opportunity to go, and not just go, but see what it's like with a big crowd in there. There could have been one stand full, and that would have been it. But you know what it is? These Newcastle fans, we just turn out in our droves and we support anybody associated with the football club. And that was proof of the pudding today. So an absolute fantastic job all round. But Becky Langley gets mine simply because of the fantastic football I watched today, and a credit. They're a credit to the women's football. Really were brilliant. So there you go. Now, tomorrow is another giveaway. I am now in possession of some Newcastle United football tops as well, that we will be giving away on the channel. They are very good. So, if it's not your size, frame it or do whatever you want with it, but you can have a chance to win it if you're a member. So if you're not a member, hit the join button underneath. If you're on iOS, nip across to Instagram, click the link for the channel in there. That will take you to a desktop version where you can become a member. But tomorrow, we have this one to give away, which is Robert Lee's Coming number 37 autobiography. Now, what a story he's got to tell. Frozen out completely by Mr. Hullett, of course. And there you go. But his story is fantastic. And there's some brilliant stories in there about, obviously England football and you've been in Europe with Newcastle and things like that. So become a member, get in there to win it. And of course, your membership money goes to, obviously some goes to the channel, but some also goes to Parkinson's UK as well, which is absolutely fantastic to be able to, for me, suffering from that illness, to be able to give something back to them for the continued support I get to them, or I get from them, which is incredible. So that's where some of that goes as well. In fact, more than 70% of it goes there. So it's absolutely incredible. There's some comments I want to read out as well, just before we end the show. Danielle's giving you a big Toon review, says, Mrs. Toon review says, a big heart to Danielle, obviously talking about Ben. Great show as always, says Trolls. Terrace says Team Billy. Ryan should get a shout out for helping Billy, in my opinion. We've said that many times tonight. We've shouted Ryan out as well as the other guys. So that has already been done. Gary says, thanks for a great show tonight, everyone, after a busy weekend for you all. Susan says, you're part of the family, Billy.
Thanks,
Neil says, Billy gets the award from us. Cheers, Neil. My award would go to the fans for the incredible support as ever. Shout out to Adam P. Also, he was the YouTube channel that got me into seeing the ladies team, etc. with the support. Absolutely, he's done a lot for the ladies team. Adam has. So big shout out to Adam as well. Brian says, we love you, Billy. James says, Billy and all four of you are doing a great job. Content is great. Your hard work and commitment shows on screen. Keep going. Paul, do we know if Newcastle will wear the new season kit last game of the season? I don't think so, because nothing's been said for who's. I honestly don't know, mate. We'll have to wait and see on that one. So,
so on there though is our changing kit designers, because generally, if we were staying with Castore, they'd have one designed. We wear it for the Arsenal game, last home game. They haven't, so
yeah,
that's
true.
I don't want a crop top. Anybody from Castoria listening to me, I do not want a beach volleyball women's Newcastle United replica top to wear. I hate it. So there you go. Right, that is it. Thank you to you three for joining me again for the review. Thank you to the mods for their continued brilliant work behind the scenes with the chat. Thank you to everybody that's watched tonight, super chatted, commented. Thank you so much. To any new subscribers, new members, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And of course, to Geordie Riffs for their continued support of the channel. Premium guitar lessons for beginners and children based here in the Northeast. Guitar repairs and servicing, which they will offer you 10% off each of the first ones if you mention the Toon review. They have their own recording studio and a first guitar lesson completely free as well if you mention the Toon review. You can find them at geordieriffs.co.uk, Instagram at Geordie Riffs, and Facebook at Geordie Riffs Official. So give Graham and Natalie a shout for all your guitar needs. Thank you to everybody again for tonight. Wonderful show. Me and Alex will be back at 8 o'clock tomorrow night with the transfer show. We'll talk a little bit about Fabian Scher's new deal as well at the start of that. Then we'll be back for Fan Forum on Tuesday with me and the Billy Trey. And we will go from there. We will plan some shows out. I'm on Loaded on Wednesday. Looking forward to joining them at 8 o'clock. Go and give Loaded HQ a shout as well and a subscription. Great bunch of lads. So I'm sure we're going to have a right laugh on there. Evening, Daz. So he likes to take the mickey out of me that I've come from Love Island for some reason. But God knows what I'll be like with a suntan. Jesus. So, yeah, looking forward to that. We'll preview the Man City game at some point this week as well. So lots coming up. Some recorded videos of any news that breaks as well. So lots coming up on the Toon review. Please do subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the like button, please, because it does help the channel. So many people forget to hit the thumbs up button if they've enjoyed it. Please hit that thumbs up button. And me and Alex will see you tomorrow night. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, guys. What's left of it. Stay safe and be kind, and we'll see you soon.
Away the lasses.
Away the lasses.